What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Pitching Ninja's filthiest pitches of the day. Remember, before we get to those pitches, hit that subscribe button. We're really close to 150,000 subscribers, and you can help us get there. So hit subscribe, and without further ado, here are my filthiest pitches of the day. I'm going to start with Bryce Elder, who had these sliders and two-seamers. He had 4 Ks in 5 1/3 innings, giving up 1 run, and lowered his ERA this year to 1.74. Bryce Elder is really good at tunneling and sequencing, and I thought this overlay is a good example of that. This is why you would get Hayes to swing out of his shoes on this slider, because Elder made it look just like his fastball. Hayes was sitting dead red, swung out of his shoes, and almost fell to the ground on that slider. Elder faced off against Tyler Wells, who had this changeup and 4 Ks in 5 innings, also giving up only 1 run. Ty Walker had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up 1 run, and had these absolutely dirty splitters. Tanner Houck had these sliders and cutters and had 4 Ks in 5 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs. Garrett Cole had this overpowering pitch timer violation. I mean, look at that. I do hate those Ks. He also had this vicious slider and nasty changeup and had 6 Ks in 5 innings, but gave up 5 earned runs. Alex Faedo had this dirty slider. Joey Lucchesi had these curves. Steven Matz had this wicked curveball. Joe Musgrove had 5 Ks in 5 innings, giving up no earned runs, and had this mix of hammer curveballs and wicked sliders. Cal Quantrill took a no-hitter into the 7th inning and only gave up 1 hit and had 4 Ks, and had this splitter and curveball that got him absolutely fired up. He outdueled Joe Ryan, who gave up 2 runs in 6 innings and had 4 Ks, featuring this fastball and this sweeper. Yusei Kikuchi had this overpowering fastball and the happiest K-strut in the world. I wish we could bottle this K-strut and sell it for people that need just a little pick-me-up. Mason Miller had 5 Ks in 6 innings and had these sliders and sick 96-mile-an-hour cutter. Dude throws freaking hard and is nasty. And here's Mason Miller's cutter grip from my interview with him.
That one, I just take my 4-seam grip and I rotate it a quarter turn and twist it a little bit. So I'm kind of just off the 4-seam grip. I guess my old 4-seam grip with the horseshoe in, and then I just twist the ball a little bit so that I'm kind of getting it to come off like this.
Gotcha. And it's purposefully, are you riding the seam a little bit longer to get it to cut?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to like break it off or anything. I'm just trying to preset my wrist a little bit to that plane. Just inside 12. Some of them, I honestly try to throw it a little different to lefties than I do righties. I want it to be, harder and flat, and maybe even have a little bit more carry to a lefty up and in. And then to a righty, just try to make it a little bigger, because I've been running it into some righties barrels where it's just not moving quite enough.
Yep.
So trying to, just preset a little harder and, get it to have a little bit more bite to it, almost like a harder slider. Just to avoid them being able to slap it over like second baseman's head.
Bryce Miller was absolutely outstanding yesterday, throwing 6 scoreless innings, giving up only 2 hits, and had 5 Ks. And he relied on these flaming buzzsaw fastballs. He has some of the highest spin rate fastballs you'll ever see. These two were 2,760 RPMs and 2,783. And that high spin rate helps this fastball to keep its plane really well, meaning it fights gravity and gets a lot of swings under it. In fact, some of these fastballs look like they teleport. Hitters are slugging .033 against Miller's fastball, and he has both the lowest batting average against and the lowest slugging against of any fastball with over 100 fastballs thrown. Here's Bryce Miller talking about his confidence in his fastball.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have the off speed whenever I need it, but right now it's just kind of prove that they can hit it before I stray away from it. So it was working.
Hayden Wisneski had these filthy sweepers, 2-seamers, and cutters, and had 6 Ks in 6 innings, giving up only 1 run. And here's an overlay of Wisneski's fastball and sweeper, and check out the opposite movement on those. And he battled yesterday's filthiest pitcher of the day, Sandy Alcantara. Sandy had 9 Ks in 8 1/3 innings with these absolutely sick, high-velocity changeups. But his filthiest pitch from yesterday was this 99-mile-an-hour two-seamer that ran 17 inches. That is vicious. His four-seamer topped out at 100 miles an hour and was overpowering. And this was one of my favorite things I saw all day. Sandy was going for a complete game shutout, and check out how angry Sandy gets when Swanson calls this timeout with 2 strikes. Like rolls his eyes and doesn't leave the rubber. He refuses to step off. And you might think because he's angry, he was going to blow a fastball by Swanson. Instead, he unleashes this 93-mile-an-hour changeup and gets the K. Alcantara is usually very stoic during games, but he absolutely has that dog in him. Before I get to my filthiest relievers from yesterday, because I didn't do a show yesterday since I was doing the Peacock game at Truist, I feel like I owe some pitchers their due. First of all, Spencer Strider had these 10 Ks and was absolutely filthy, relying on his fastball, his slider, and his changeup. And this changeup really jumped out at me because it was on a 3-2 pitch and got the swing and miss, and it's the first time Strider has thrown a changeup on a 3-ball count in his career, which shows Strider is getting more and more faith in that changeup. And here's an overlay of his fastball and changeup, and you can see why he would get a swing and miss on that, both due to velo difference and movement. And after the game, in the post-game press conference, Strider showed off his pitching ninja shirt. How cool is that? The other starter I wanted to highlight was Dustin May. His stuff was absolutely incredible. Look at these 99-mile-an-hour two-seamers that ran 21 inches and 23 inches back to the plate. We're talking almost 2 feet of movement on something that is going 99 miles an hour. That stuff was so filthy, he had Kim thinking he walked twice on these two-seamers because of how far they started off the plate. Yet both of these caught the zone easily. May also got this hit by pitch K on this buzzsaw curveball. And if you were wondering how you could swing at a pitch that hit you, well, here's an overlay of that curveball and his 99-mile-an-hour two-seamer. When Dustin May is on, his stuff is otherworldly. Now on to my filthiest relievers. Brian Abreu had this overpowering fastball and wicked sliders. Mike Baumann had these breaking balls and got absolutely fired up. Matt Brash had this wicked slider. Michael King had 3 Ks on this filth. Michael Fulmer had this nasty slider. AJ Puck had this sick sweeper and overpowering fastball. Colin McHugh had this dirty sweeper. Evan Phillips had this nasty sweeper. Matt Strom got Ks on these fastballs. Justin Topa had this filthy slider and got the save. Justin Lawrence had this filthy sweeper and lowered his ERA to 1.47 this year. He's been really good. Hunter Harvey had this overpowering 100-mile-an-hour fastball. Ryan Helsley had this 102-mile-an-hour diesel. Emmanuel Clase had this beautiful 92-mile-an-hour slider. But my filthiest reliever of the day yesterday was Yennier Cano. He had these totally sick changeups and stare downs after Ks. And I love this stare down after he Ks Olsen. Olsen looks back at him like, what the f***, dude? Is Cano's K stare a little too much or awesome? Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Also, I did this overlay of Cano's fastball and changeup, and you can see why that changeup is so deadly. And now, my pitching ninja moment of zen. I saw this Mookie Betts interview on SportsCenter and thought it was hilariously inappropriate, and I'm glad Talking Baseball captured it.
The best sign I've ever seen yesterday, I don't know if I can really say it on air, but it was a great sign.
Can you paraphrase what it said?
I mean, it just said Mookie Betts eats corn the long way. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that was very creative, and shout out to whoever made that sign.
What is up, everybody? My picks of the day today are a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to start out with Hunter Brown for 5 Ks or more, then take Mitch Keller for 6 Ks or more, and top it off with Zach Gallen for 7 Ks or more. What would your picks of the day be?